Hey, yo, it's me, Pops Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Huh? So come get some. CromCon. CromCon.
Fairview's coffee has mysteriously gone missing. Mayhem ensues when strange, coffee-craving zombies plague the city. Detective Mickey Potatoes, an overworked public servant, uncovers why ordinary citizens are losing their minds and how to stop the coffee apocalypse. But it involves the mafia. And when you're dealing with mafia crime families, nothing is ever easy. The mafia controls everything in the city, including the police, including him. If he breaks the mafia, they will break him. So, the city is without coffee. The city is burning before his very eyes, but he's powerless. Detective Potatoes has the power to stop the coffee apocalypse, but if he does, he could lose everything.
Smile Oh, yeah, I like that. Is that awesome? RJ, you just killed it with that one, brother. What's up, everybody? We are here for one reason only, and that is to count down the end of our sponsors campaign, Tales from the Asylum. And I'm not even going to waste any time. I'm just going to bring dude out. And we also have one of our producers from one of our other shows that wants to come out and say thank you. And of course, we do love our sponsors, and that's one of our sponsors. Yes. So,
wait, that way, yeah.
No, brother. What's
going on, man? I like that theme song for the Madness. I hadn't seen that little video yet. Yeah, that was fun.
That was a Christmas present from RJ, man. He
nice.
sent that to me the other night, and I was just blown away. I was like, oh, shit, I couldn't have done that better.
It rhymed. I mean, he was a really good wordsmith on that one. It rhymed and felt natural. Nothing felt forced on it.
That was great. Well, he did tweak it a little bit after he sent it to me, and then he goes, but don't use that
one. Right.
He goes, don't use that one because I'm still tweaking it, you know. And it was like,
you can't use the first pass through, right? You know.
It was amazing, man. But
that's very cool.
RJ, he's another of our sponsors, you know. I mean, you guys understand what we're trying to do. Man, I was nervous about this one though. I've been pushing.
Yeah. So, you know, it's one of those kind of things. It's like I've been doing comics for such a long time now that it was so annoying and frustrating and nerve-wracking watching this thing go, like very small jumps. And I'm like, just do a big jumpy. It's okay. You can do a big jumpy. You know?
So I want to introduce you to the producer of the Adventures of Matt and Romo, one of our shows. Ron's wife, Brittany, is here.
Hey. What's going on,
guys.
Look, she's all festive out there. She's still got her Christmas tree up, and you know, still all that fun festive stuff. I got a big black hole behind me. Pop's got a big black hole behind him. You know?
I already opened all mine up on Monday Madness. We had a good time. I did get some really good stuff. Do you know Madeline, Tom?
I don't think so.
Madeline Holly Rising?
Mm-mm.
The Metaphysical Society. Oh, good stuff.
The Boston Metaphysical Society?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I do. I know. So that's the funny thing is, so with me, I've been to so many shows. I've been to all over the place and stuff like that. Like I know projects more than people,
right?
Because I'll see them, I'll talk to them, and they'll tell me their name. And because of the fact that I'm old and stupid, it goes in one ear and right out the other. And you know, but so it's like I don't have their names, but it's like the projects and the arts. Like I have submission packets from portfolio reviews that people have come to me from like 2007. And then they come back in like 2015 and they, you know, I'm flipping through their portfolio and I see one piece and I'm like, I talked to you 5 years ago. And they're like, how the hell do you know that? And I'm like, I'm an idiot savant. But yeah.
The art. Yes, the art. So we promote the heck out of what you do, Tom. I love you. You support what we do. We support what you do. That's what the Madness is all about.
Yep.
Now, Brittany is kind of new. Okay, the Romo show is only, I don't know, not quite to 20 episodes yet. So new to the network, but she's been amazing doing stuff just like this. Okay. She produces Ron's show because Ron wouldn't have a cookbook. You know, he'll look at his intro and he's like, nope.
Yeah. He's like, I'm here to do stuff.
She definitely makes that show happen. It's fun. She's a great addition. They are a great addition to the Madness for sure. Nice. But I totally appreciate you, Brittany, coming out and lending your support to Tom and what he's doing. Yeah. You know,
you guys are doing all the work. I just showed up. You guys are doing all the work.
But see, that's just it. Showing up is
right. That's part of the work.
I mean, that's part of it. Is showing your support for the people.
You would be surprised and sad to know how many people don't show up. You know.
No, I know. That's why it matters. Even though there's kids' noises in the background, it's still important to show up. So Ron and Matt actually have wanted to do a show for years. They just talk about it because when they get together, they'll talk and talk for like 4 hours. And it wasn't until last year that I said, just hit record. Just whenever you're hanging out, just hit record.
Yeah.
And Ron has been working on his craft, on his art for years and years. And Matt is just an extensive Encyclopedia Britannica of knowledge of, especially of kaijus, but of everything, of movies, of comic books, everything.
Nice.
And they just talk and talk and talk. So it is about time that they got to meet Pops, come on and make their show and give them a reason to, record.
Are they having fun? Are they having fun?
They are having fun.
They
and
are?
even when Ron is tired, even when they're both tired, because Matt's luck is just awful. And you'll hear it. If you ever watch the show, there's always something crazy that you wouldn't believe going on with Matt.
Yeah.
But every time they get together, they're like 5 minutes into recording. Hey, Max.
What's up?
And they already feel better, and we're already having fun.
Oh yeah,
and it's like we're hanging out, and it's refreshing and good for you. And that's how it feels to watch any of the shows on Madness. Frankly,
that's also pop culture, and that's what it can do. It can just make everybody feel better. Just everyone enjoys it. Which is why I've been running my company for over 20 years now. So
and this has been one of those final day pushes. You guys, yesterday this thing was over $500 away.
Yeah.
And we go out, we do our thing, we post it everywhere. We try to get people to look at it. Got up this morning, we were $50 away. I was like,
yep. No, and by the time I got up, because I'm on the West Coast, I woke up and it was funded, and I was just like.
But it's not funded by much, guys.
I want to keep going. Like another couple $100 past goal
that cushion
would be nice.
We need that cushion. That the cards that don't go through cushion.
Yeah.
All right. So by all means, we're gonna have Tom tell us a little bit about what he does, how he got here. Then we'll show the video, and then we'll go into the campaign. All right. So
all right. So
Thomas, the history.
So I have been me and my business partner Alex. We've been fans of comic books for a long time. I've been fans of comic books my entire life, like literally from like 3 years old onward. And we were just talking about the comic book industry back in the late 90s, the dark days, which a lot of people who read comic books now don't even want to acknowledge that those time frames existed because it was so bad. My roommate at the time pretty much said, look, either, shit or get off the pot. Like, don't just sit there and talk about and complain about the comic book industry. If you want to make it better, make it better. Just kind of like how Pops is doing with, independent comics and, reviews. And so we decided, I knew enough people. Yeah. I said, I knew enough people. So I was just like, you know what, let's just start up a company, and I was working in a comic book store at the time. And so I started basically, going in there and talking to some people who, would come into the store who I knew were artists. And then I talked to a couple of people who worked over at Marvel. I had a couple of friends who were interns over in Valiant. I lived in New York, so all the companies were there. So it was super easy. And we got a group of people together and started tinkering away and putting together some comic books and going out to shows.
Marvel's lobby and poach artists.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is I didn't even have to do that, Max. I actually, one of my friends and one of the guys who came onto the project or came onto the company early on, who actually was an employee at Marvel who would handle the incoming art submissions.
Oh, nice.
So he would literally just go into the pile of, Marvel doesn't want, and he would find someone good and be like, hey, Tom, contact this person, take a look at this person.
That's epic to have Marvel be in your submission.
My submission buffer. Yeah, exactly. I never thought of it that way, actually. That's pretty much true.
That's actually a selling point right there. Look, they can't admit they're trying to sell me a book.
Yep. So then we just basically started going and started putting some books together. And it was actually interesting because the people who we started with back in 99, the different creators that we started with, none of them produced a book for us. Like, that's how green we were. We all thought like, hey, we're going to get in, we're going to do this all. And none of them did. Some of them did actually get their projects out, but not under our banner. But many, 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 many years later, one of them, I think it took almost 15 years for them to get their one issue out. But yeah, we found some more people and kept on going. And when I started Committee Comics, I wanted the mindset of blending new talent with seasoned veterans, because there was no way to break into the industry really in the early 2000s. It was either you were already in or that's it. And so I kind of wanted to bring in people who had new talent, but at the same time, it's, you can't just bring in a whole brand new creative team, because then nobody has the steering wheel essentially. So I started kind of blending, we had new inkers working with, seasoned pencilers and seasoned writers writing the story and, this and other thing. And so
you need
we
your
slowly
project
built it
manager
that way.
You need your project manager to be at the steering wheel.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, which is kind of what I was doing,
We started with, I mean, they were experienced at what they did. Don't get me wrong. Like Fernando knows how to pencil. He knows how to ink. He knows how to color. He's good at all of them.
Right. Yeah.
Mateus is good at penciling. Fran's good at inking. And we've got specific roles for each individual person, but me and Johnny are in the control of it all. We like look at it and like, okay, this looks like trash. Redraw it.
And how often do you say that to Fern? Really?
I don't think I've ever said that to Fern since Mary Machine Gun issue #1. But we've made a lot of changes as things come in from there. I mean, it's just a process.
Yeah, you have to.
You
have to keep doing it and tweaking it.
And that's one of the things I like about bringing in new talent, new artists.
Yeah,
is that they get to spread their wings and actually try. Especially at our company, we hire people based off of their talent, and we want to see what they can do.
Yeah,
we don't want to just say, "Here's the script." It's so granular; it's down to the minutia of what's in the room. Draw it exactly as it says here.
Right.
No, we keep it kind of loose. If there's something important that needs to be in the room, we'll put that in the script. But other than that, instead of saying it's a room with mahogany furniture with this and that, and I'm just like, it's a posh room.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're giving the artist room to actually be the artist,
be creative.
I mean, yeah, and that's important.
Yeah.
So,
and I like when they come at me with like, hey, we can combine these two panels. I'm like, do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah. No, I mean, but the other thing is, like you said, being a project manager or being an editor or, being the art director and stuff like that. Like there's certain key things that you definitely have to keep an eyeball out, which is what I did for, 23 years with everybody else's projects.
Well,
so then I decided to actually write a project.
And that's the good thing, is when you got some project management experience and you can bring that to comics. I mean, I don't know if you've worked as a project manager, like project manager.
Right. Yeah.
But we used to use Agile all the time. And it's a project management
software. Yeah.
Well, it's a whole system of how things are done. It uses specific software and makes it all go, but it's usually for software development. And but it works for everything, and it keeps us. Us on our toes.
You need something that keeps a structure and a flow. You need a flow chart. I mean, it's not. Yeah. I mean, it's not that difficult if you know what you're doing. That's the kicker. Yeah. Just like Brittany with producing something, you have to have a vision. You can't just go willy-nilly and hope it works out. So, but yeah, it's for years I was doing other people's projects, and I was like, you know what? I think it's time to actually write my own story, which I had given concepts and ideas previously, but never sat down and actually wrote a script out. And I realized that that's hard. That's very hard. I always knew it was difficult, but it was one of those kind of things that I did not know, because I was wearing other hats. It was impairing me to actually finish the script. Like I was editing it as I was writing it. I was, visualizing it as I was writing it. And I was like, nope, I need to just write it. Like, just write it, then set it aside, then go back to it, then rework it. And so that's what I did.
You write it out,
took me a while.
and give it some space, let it percolate for a bit, come back to it, and you'd be like, "What the hell was I thinking?"
Yep. So I found a really good artist at San Diego. Was it 22? I think it was San Diego 22. It might have been 21. I can't remember exactly. But yeah, 2022, I think. Joe, he came to the portfolio reviews, and he had a really good portfolio, and he had some small press work. He had done a comic book for Ninja Sex Party, which is a really entertaining, fun band, apparently. I was not aware of them. But
you are now.
Sounds like something I'd make.
Yeah, they're definitely popular. So yeah, he had done their comic book, and he had done a couple other independent guys, and started.
So that's a band. Stuff. Hold on, that's a band.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a band.
Yep. Called Ninja Sex Party. Yeah, it's two guys. I think it's like a DJ electronic music style.
Yeah, they're like an EDM thing.
Yeah. I also know they actually performed, I think it was 22 at San Diego in Petco Field. So that was kind of fun. But yeah, so I found him, and and then I have a host of other creators, people. And so I started putting together my story, and then in order to blend in new talent with seasoned veteran concept, in every issue of Tales from the Asylum, there's going to be a story within the story. So I'm writing the main story, and then when Sancho, the main character, gets to tell the story to the other characters, that's where the new talent is going to come in. So basically, my plan is to have that creative team be a brand new team, either their first work or very early on work, to get their projects out there. So would you say this is an anthology? It's not an anthology. So that's the funny thing is, so as soon as you put in two or more creative teams, everyone just brings their brain into an anthology. And I ran into this with our very first publication back in '99. We did a book called Committee Comics Presents Threads, and it was 3 separate creative teams telling 3 separate stories that all interlocked into one complete story.
It's a good book. I got it.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that everybody who heard the concept of it, and this is even all the way down to like people in distribution at Diamond and other creators, they would sit there and go like, "Oh, this is like an anthology," and I'm like, "No, each issue is self-contained. Each issue tells a full story. So if anything, it's a series of one-shots. It's not an anthology." And so it was kind of hard for people to wrap their mind around, just because of the and I understand it, because the concept of anthologies is very popular. It's been popular for years, but this was definitely more along the lines of the old EC titles and the old Marvel monsters. It's like every issue.
It's more Tales from the Crypt than
and a little more strange adventures, right? Like they would have a bunch of stuff in there, and there might be returning characters that but it wasn't a guarantee. So it wasn't until Marvel started doing Tales of Suspense, right? And they had like a Captain America and Iron Man as an ongoing anthology type story, but up until before that point, it was literally just random stories inside. So but yeah, so we put this together, and I found an art team. I've got some awesome covers by some good friends who stepped up to the plate and was like, what, this looks fun. I want to do it. So that's my friend Jeff. He's got amazing pinup style. Obviously, he did his own Kickstarter.
That.
Yeah,
it's Wilma.
He did his own Kickstarter called Saffron the Pirate, which was adult themed, but very cheeky and very pinup. That's Joe's cover. He came up with actually 4 or 5 different concepts, and kind of like this one.
Joe has a last name, right?
I'm sorry?
Joe has a last name?
Yeah, Martinez.
Okay. This is Joe Martinez work.
So it's actually funny. I was on another podcast, and it's escaping my brain right now because I haven't had enough coffee. But I was telling them about how I met Joe and all sorts of stuff. And one of the other guys was like, "Oh my God, he's also working on my book."
That happens a lot.
And he was,
it happens more than you think it would.
Yeah, but so before the podcast, we were talking, and he was like, he was like, your company sounds really familiar. It's like, I can't really place it. I was like, and when we were talking finally, he was like, that's where I heard it. He was like, Joe asked him, do you know these Committee Comic guys? I'm working on a project for them too.
Yep.
So I just thought that was very funny. And then it turned out the other host of that podcast I had actually met in Boston at a show. We were sitting there talking for a little bit. And so it was one of those things too, where I was like, we all kind of remotely knew each other on the podcast, oddly enough. So
I want to highlight one other thing. I want everybody to look over here where it says 108 back. This guy supports indie comics, man. He promotes he makes indie comics, but he also loves indie comics and what you guys do, and promotes what you do and supports what you do. Get behind this dude, man. He's one of us. Just saying, I'm assuming Brittany said that, but maybe it was Ron. I don't know. We'll act like it was Ron.
Yeah, there you go. He's doing something.
Good stuff.
So yeah. So the unfortunate part is that the last two covers that I got that I love, like that one there from Jeff and that one there from Will Torres, they came in so late just because everyone's working on their own schedule, and these guys they just liked the project and they wanted to see me succeed, so they just kicked over their stuff. So
now look,
I wish I'd had it from the very beginning, but hey, I'm happy I got them now.
All right, I'm just going to throw this out there, my friend Thomas. I am a proofreader.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
His name is spelled right there.
Yeah.
Torres, and then you go and gave him one R.
Look, like I said, last minute. I had to do it last minute.
I'm a proofreader. I'm just saying, you can run that stuff by me, and I'll go. Hey, what?
See, speaking of people working on other people's projects, I had Will Torres do a cover for me on my first Mary Machine Gun book.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah. Nice. And Wilson Ramos has been on the draw stream a few times.
Yes, yeah. Wilson's good people. He was actually one of the original Committee Comics people way back when. So he's been in the business working on millions of things here and there, covers, manga, coloring, lettering, the whole 9 yards. So, and then we actually get to the interior pages. So,
and this is where Doc should be going. Oh,
yeah, that's Joe did an incredible job on that page. It's going to have a hint of color. It's not going to be a full colored rendered. I mean, the rest of the book will be full color rendered, but that's only going to have a hint of color for the first page. And there's obviously a story development of why it's like that. So, but yeah, Sancho is essentially the main character. He's basically an insane genie, if you have to break it down simply.
Mm-hmm.
He's an insane genie who has attached himself to this family for some reason, unbeknownst to him or unbeknownst to the reader yet, and just wants to entertain the kids. But he's insane, and he thinks he's a chipmunk, but he's not. So there's the Thompson family, and
just hanging out, having dinner.
Just having dinner,
at the Mickey D's.
There you go. Well, not quite. It's
Yeah,
a little bit more, a little more West Coasted.
A little more West Coast. Okay, so In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah, you know.
It's In-N-Out.
Technically,
Look, you
not
can even
In-N-Out
see the way the burgers are wrapped. It's In-N-Out.
Per legal, legality issues. It's in and
you call it up and
out,
down burger.
It's out and in burger.
Exactly. Yes.
Up and down burger. That's beautiful.
Up and down burger. There you go. And then the next piece of artwork there. Now, this is the story within a stories pages. So what we decided to do is we had some pages that we used once in a very small print run on a special edition book that was done in black and white line art. And it was Dustin Weaver, James Taylor, and written by Danny Donovan. And so basically what I kind of wanted to do is all three of those gentlemen have extensive resumes in the comic book industry, independent and mainstream. So what I decided to do for this time around is the seasoned veterans is actually the story within the story, and all of the kind of newcomers, for lack of a better term, are all the people doing the main story. So this actually gets to kind of flips that idea on its head. Whereas, moving forward, the story within the story will be the newcomers, and we will be Joe, will be the veterans, so to speak.
You'll be doing the wraparound story.
Yeah, we'll be doing the wraparound story there, and Raymond Leonard did all the colors on the wraparound story, and Omar Francis did the colors on the story within a story, because I wanted them to look very different. So I went with 2 different colorists to make sure that they, were a little
different styles.
Yeah. So there's a little history on me
There it is.
doing
folks.
stuff.
There it is.
So.
Now, after 20 plus years, I
Mhm.
decided to write my very first comic book.
Yep. There's nothing like doing it when you're nice and old and insane.
Well, see now,
See, once you get so old, you just don't care anymore, and you just put it all out there.
There
You
you
know,
go.
I mean, when you're younger, you would be like, man, maybe I shouldn't do that. And then, when you get older, you're just like, fuck it, let's just throw it all against the wall and see what sticks.
There you go. Pretty much.
I mean, I kind of look at it like there's things that you have to know how to do in order to be able to teach other people how to do,
Right.
or guide other people in or whatever. And it kind of makes sense that you would write a story because you help people, you edit stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I started out working as an editor for some zines, music zines and comic zines that were just local here in Kansas City, kind of regional. And I was the editor for 2 of those.
Nice.
And it was interesting. I was always into comics, and then we did like comic strips that were very underground and very inappropriate.
Yes.
They're in zines.
Yep.
What do you expect?
Yeah.
And then when I finally I just came down to it, and I was like, okay, I finally got some money. Let me put this into a book and see what happens.
Yeah.
And here it is 5 years later, and we've got 15 books and 4 different properties. So we're doing well.
All right, we're down to 20 minutes left. People, just get a couple.
See, I like that image right there. I really like the face.
Yeah. So that's done by Kevin McCoy. Kevin's done some covers for Mountaineers West Press. He's done Zenoscope covers. Robin Hood, he did a bunch of the covers for that one. A couple other ones he did. A couple of Zenoscope's exclusive con covers.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did is I took the base image of Sancho that one of our guys created many, many years ago, and I used to give it out, and I still do currently, give it out to my friends who are artists, and they would just draw their interpretation of the character in their style.
Mm-hmm.
And then I basically had those as prints, and I would sell them at shows. And it was basically a way for me to get other artists, like if they wanted to come and hang out at the show and sit down and sign books or do commissions, right? It was the bridge between the two, because, I'm not going to have an artist who's never done any work for me sit at a table.
It's the reason to have them there.
Yeah. So, I did we did like a dozen pieces or almost a dozen pieces at this point. And that's the piece that always catches a lot of people's eyes, and they go, what is his deal? And so that's why I was like, what, out of all 12 or whatever, pieces I have, I'm going to use this one as the first variant cover, because I definitely think it's striking and it's, catches a lot of attention.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So yeah.
mean,
which is actually kind of funny. And, literally, of course, with my luck, I called up Kevin. I said, hey, I'm going to use your piece for the variant cover for my, the first book. He's like, all right, yeah, that's cool. He's like, I'll sign whatever you need me to sign. I'll do whatever. He goes, but I'm going to take some time off from the convention circuit this year. And I was like, duh. I was like, ah. But I still love the image enough to where it's
you can talk him into it. But
yeah,
come on, buddy.
The funny thing is he's I know he's doing at least one show in the Seattle area. That's where I'm out and where he is. And so we're going to be at SummerCon together. I'm going to have an Artist Alley spot. He's going to have a booth. So at least that way I'll definitely have the book for that show and do some cross promotion there.
Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, be like, here, you want to buy this book and run over to this guy's booth and get it signed? And
that's right. Yeah. So, and we've done that a couple of different times with people, local to Seattle area and that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, it's a book. I planned this as a loosely planned as a 4-issue miniseries. So that is the first piece of artwork of Sancho that my business partner Alex did when he was legitimately an angry chipmunk. He drew that at San Diego one year at the table when he was bored, and then he went home and animated it because he's scratching his nuts. I mean, you have to. Why not? And then Sancho actually ended up in a little giveaway book that we did for San Diego a couple years later. I think it might have been the next year. And he's the mascot outside of the Committed Comics booth. So the worst thing is that I could not find this image without all the words. It's on a zip drive somewhere, I'm sure, but that's how long I've been doing comics for, is that I have a bunch of my art files on zip drives. Which half the people probably watching this are going, what the hell is a zip drive? And
they held 100 megabytes of space. Dude,
that's right. You could hold an entire issue, maybe. But yeah, I'm gonna try to dig that up and just for fun. But yeah, and then that's the base image that C. Wilson Troll did for me, that I give out to people just for, draw this guy in your style. That's pretty much the basis of them.
Yep, you do just like I do with crumbs. I don't want you to draw somebody else's look. I want you to do it the way you would do it.
Yep. Don't mimic anything. Just do it in your style, because that's.
I'll send them 20 different images of Crom, and I'll be like, here, and so that they see all the different things people have done, and it's like, this isn't a cookie cutter thing. I want your version.
Nope, your version. Yep. Yep. So, but yeah. And then there's our good buddy Bill Mouse's cover.
Bill.
I've gotten some mileage out of that image.
All the art reminds me, it's very MTV Liquid Television. You remember Liquid Television?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's very liquid.
Bunch of different styles kind of all jammed in, but
it's very Liquid Television. It's got that almost like the Max kind of look to it, but it's still very original to itself, and that's super cool.
Still kind of refined, but it's kind of almost like controlled chaos. So,
dude, this is the one on the big heavy pin, isn't it?
Yes, that's the one on the big heavy pin, which is on your head, which makes your head hurt. Pops.
Dude, he sends me this pin, right? It takes 3 or 4 of those. Of the actual pin to hold it in place, right?
Again, it's if you're gonna spend money on a pin, you want a decent sized pin,
it
right?
weighs like a half a pound or something. Hold on, that thing is heavy, dude.
Look, it's got 2 class. That's why it's got 2 class.
I got 2. It is really heavy, though. It is. I was like, man, if I put that on the front of my hat, it'll just be down here.
Flip it down. Hey, I've got it in my backpack, when I go to cons. So,
but yeah, good stuff, man. Really, really good stuff. I love Bill. We hang out with him. I try to catch his show, the one he does and the one he appears on. I try to catch them both.
Oh yeah. The one he does with Steve.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I can't always catch him, but I try to catch him and share him out, let people know he's live doing his thing.
That's right. So those are Joe's rough sketches of the different characters, the cast of it all.
Sancho, the angry chipmunk.
He's right. So,
and this is the family.
Is Siani, the oldest daughter?
You said that you had changed the concept for the character of Sancho.
Mm-hmm.
When did that happen?
So it happened pretty much when. So basically, when Alex did that little drawing of the chipmunk scratching his nuts, we didn't really have a plan for it, and it wasn't until C. Wilson did his rendition of it with just an actual crazy guy in a straitjacket that's when it kind of started to take shape. Because I was like, if I just make him an angry chipmunk, that doesn't really go with the theme of the company. Our company's name is Committed. It's like he's crazy. So he thinks he's a chipmunk, but he's not, and so that kind of where it started that roller coaster ride. So when I would hand out the image to people and they would be like, "Oh, so what's this character like?" I'm like, "He's just insane." You know, he's an insane person who thinks, you know, that he knows best, and it's just real simple like that. And then I was talking to my friend Terry Huddleston, who's also an artist. He's done a bunch of independent books, and he kills it in the cons now.
Who did you say?
Terry Huddleston.
I'm Terry Huddleston, and you're watching the Madness Comic Network.
Get some, baby. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That's my boy right there.
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
Actually, the last con I went to, I walked by a booth and it looks just like Terry, but Terry wasn't there, and I was like,
"Oh yeah," so he probably his wife or his
his wife was running this booth at GR. I think just Hall of Heroes, maybe.
Yeah,
I think it was Hall of Heroes, and his wife.
Yeah, so I was talking to Terry, and he's like, "Hey, I like your character." He's going to do a piece for me eventually. He just needs to get it on the schedule. But he's like, you know, it would be cool if he was like Mr. Mxyzptlk from Superman. You know, he basically just causes trouble, but doesn't really mean to cause trouble. And so I was kind of like, I like that idea. You know, that would open up storytelling for him if he's able to just do magical stuff. And it would also make it a little more interesting when I actually tell more of his backstory. So I kind of incorporated that into it. And so now that's how I get the, you know, the description of that he's an insane genie, you know,
Yeah.
who
did the original, like, kind of give him that smiley face?
So that was C. Wilson Troll. He actually did a book called Jackrabbit for us.
I got that.
Him and Bo. Yeah, he you know, once again, we were at a show, and I think it was Emerald City, and he was bored, and he just drew that, and he was like, "Here."
Whatever works.
Yeah. You know, because we were talking about, you know, like how I want, basically, you know, I realized I needed some kind of, not for lack of a better term, gimmick for the company.
Well,
you know,
yeah.
like you have, you know, Crom, you know, Pops. I needed something to kind of identify that wasn't us, right? Because there was a couple of different people who would be at tables and stuff.
You need an avatar.
An avatar, perfect example. And so he kind of came up with that after we told him the story of the creation of the original Sancho. So it was just, you know, just something fun to do, and just kept on growing and growing and growing. And when I decided to write my own story, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it on that character. One, because of the fact that it's, you know, it's a company book, right? So we're going to have some creator-owned stuff in it because the company as a whole is very much creator-owned focused. But at the same time, I want to, you know, have something that is solely for the company as well,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And so our mascot, Avatar, however you want to describe him, you know, he is solely Committed Comics. So, yeah.
Branding, brother. It's branding. And,
Yeah.
So how long did it take to name Sancho? I mean, did you go through a bunch of different iterations, or was it?
The funny thing is, Alex came up with that right away. I don't even remember how he came up with it. I think I left to do portfolio reviews at the show, and I think this was like 2002, San Diego maybe. And I come back from the table, and he's like, "Look!" And he holds up the little drawing. He's like, "It's our company mascot, Sancho." And I'm like, "What?"
I may know who Sancho is.
I'm like, what
I
are you
may know.
talking about?
I'm thinking they're from the West Coast. It's
Hold on.
it's a music thing with what's that band, the Sublime?
No, look, Sancho is the guy who's with your old lady when you're in jail.
Yeah, well, that's essentially so the Sublime song definitely had some influence on there, Max. You're definitely correct. That was our theme song when me, Alex, and a whole bunch of people would go to the strip club.
I didn't say that out loud.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So it was a combination of multiple things, but it was just like I come back from doing portfolio reviews and I'm just confused because I have no idea what they've done at the table since I was gone. You know,
I remember going to conventions and we were tabling or whatever, and then we'd be like, all right, let's go to the we didn't call it the strip club, so let's go to the titty bar.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, there ain't gonna be no one there. No one's gonna know who we are. It'll be great. And then we get there, and it's everybody from the con is there. You're just like, Jesus, man, you guys are degenerates.
Now move over.
Everybody from the con is there. You see what I'm saying? We know where the after party is. We know where we know.
So that is actually the very first costume superhero from Committed Comics is the Federal. He actually he was in the very first issue of Threads that never technically saw press. It did see publication. We did it as an online book, but it never actually saw print. Which ironically, again, to kind of go full circle, Wilson Ramos Jr. did the artwork for that book, for that story of the Federal.
That's a good character design too.
Yeah, simple. I mean, it was very inspired by Batman, inspired by the Spirit, and inspired by
you can definitely see the Spirit with that noir look to it and everything. And it's really
it's
I like
it's
that.
classic.
It'd be easy to cosplay. So that's one thing that like a lot of people complain about our characters is they'll be like, they're super difficult to cosplay because she's got all this armor and stuff on, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
we didn't create the characters for you to cosplay. We created the characters to tell the story.
Like now, if you want to cosplay one of the ninja bimbos, they're just running around in their underwear. So
again, dude, you did it again down here where it says series artist Joe. It's Joe.
You know what the funny thing is? I copied that from his bio.
Well, yeah, but that's because his bio's on his page and people can see
No. He wrote it out for me. Yeah. That's funny. Hey, look, man, it wouldn't be a Committed Comics campaign if I didn't have some just weird shit going on. Let's be honest.
Okay, well, let's be honest. Let me proofread your stuff, dude. I'm really good at it. You can ask anybody. The errors just jump off the page at me. You know what I mean?
They usually do to me too, but it doesn't help when I'm trying to rush it, and and you know what it is? My head's too far into it. I'm already. That's why I'm saying I'm already up to the eyeballs in it.
It's okay to send me stuff. I'm just sitting here.
Yep.
It's okay to Pops, look this over before I hit save.
Yep.
I'll do it. I'm always, it's not like you're going to have to wait 6 hours for me to get back to you. Ask anybody. Ask anybody. I usually respond to people within minutes of a message. So, yeah, man, let me help you out in that way. In every way that I can, All right, so everybody just got a funded print.
That's right. Funded print just shows Joe Martinez's artwork without any trade dress, and then all the backers' names will be on the back. And that's kind of a standardized Committed Comics type of thing we do with all the different campaigns we've done, all the Nero books. It's something fun. You get something that's exclusive only to the campaign. You get something that has your name on it, which, again, as a fan, like you said, I've backed 108 campaigns. As a fan, I like that idea. I like getting stuff for myself, So it's
So you got the digital download. You got like 5 minutes left. You got the digital download. You can just get the digital $5 right now, right?
Yep, with just different covers. You got the regular cover and then Kevin's cover.
Keep going.
Bill's
Bill Boss cover. Yeah.
Yep.
Just roll.
So, and then we got the standard edition. Those are the print versions of Joe and Kevin cover, and then Bill's cover, and then we did a sketch cover. Just for fun, just because, again, why not, right? We're going to have them at the shows.
And nobody back to the sketch cover. Where are my artist friends at, guys?
I don't know, man.
That's Pete's. That's Pete's territory. Sketch covers.
I know a lot of people that do them. It's like, what's up, man?
Yeah,
I'm starting to feel like maybe I wasn't promoting this enough.
And then we got Bill's cover there.
Bill, look.
So then when Joe gave me the piece, it was actually a black and white, obviously, because he did all the line work for it. I just thought it had a creepy feel to it. And it just gave a different, without Raymond's colors on it, it gave a different, feeling to it. I was like, let me see if anyone likes this idea. Why not? And then I got Jeff's cover, his little sexy flirty cover there.
Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
It's got that Jessica Rabbit.
Yep.
You know.
Yep, that's definitely is our style. And then Will's cover there, Will and Wilson. I thought that was actually.
Look, you spelled his name right here.
I know. See, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. You know.
I'm lost.
That's the problem when you sit there and you try to do something after you fold 8 hours worth of work, a whole bunch of stuff. So then the signed edition. So
Look,
unlike previous,
here, though. He put his last name here. Good job. All right.
so the signed editions on all the previous campaigns that we've done and most of the campaigns going forward, we do a signature sticker or a signature book plate for the books. This time it's actually going to be on the actual book. I'm actually going to be shipping out the books to the different creators to sign them. So that's the difference. You know why it's a little more expensive as well because
because you got to ship it back and forth. It's like we can't do that with
just a regular retail price on there. So
2 minutes left, guys. 2 minutes.
Yep.
It's last chance.
Bill versions, and then we got a couple of different. Bill signed version, and then we did the original 3 covers on metal. Just because of the fact that I have a good friend who does printed metal, which in my opinion came out better than some other printed metals I've seen covers wise. So
metal covers are great.
Yeah, I'm excited to get that.
We had one that we did from we had Ed Benez do a cover on
nice.
issue 2 of Mary Machine Gun, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do 10 of these metal covers numbered.
Yeah.
That one's metal right there, Lady Death.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, Brian Polito knows all the tricks.
Okay. I have a few.
So,
Brian Polito's like, if there's a gimmick, he's done it twice.
That's right. Yep.
Or did it
first. So,
one final minute, guys.
Last minute. I am just happy that we funded.
We got you a little bit of a cushion. We got
you a little bit of a bump. You know. So, but yeah, I'm just super thankful for all the people who actually did back the campaign, who shared it out, who
Now, one other thing, Thomas, get with me a couple weeks ahead of time so we can set up a launch.
Yep. Well, the biggest problem for me, Pops, and we'll probably do the launch without me for the next year thing, is I got the day job. I can't.
I know. We don't have to launch it during the day.
Yeah, but it's like I know. Majority
a
of people.
Time countdown does better than a lunchtime countdown.
Does it really? Oh.
It does. Because you got a lot more people that are home watching.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yep. No, that definitely makes sense. So,
I mean, half my network right now, what are they doing? They're at work at their day job. They're not sharing it out. You see what I'm saying? Half the network.
Yeah. I mean, I like setting mine to usually end around 7
p.m.
Central Time.
Nice.
Yeah, p.m. Central Time.
Central Time.
That way it gives people time to get home from work, and they got a couple hours left if they really want to back it. And because Kickstarter will send out that information, Kickstarter sends out those emails.
Right.
You get a 2-day email, a 1-day email, and an 8-hour email.
Right.
And if you're at work, you don't get that email, bro.
Yeah. So.
Prime time.
Those are logistics that I didn't really think about, Max. That's a very good time frame. That's smart.
Well, I know from doing these, like we've done 100 of these or so now. You know? The ones in the evening, they kill it.
They just do a little better. Yeah.
Nice. Look at the Nira X that we did. We did those in the evening, and those, we had way more people watching. We had, it's the same audience.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, definitely. Here to help. I'm always here to help no matter what, whether it's proofreading stuff or whatever, dude, hit me up.
Yeah.
You help me. I will help you as much as I possibly can. You know that.
Well,
Britt saw the fireworks and she left. She's like, okay.
I know. She's like, peace.
She was here to show support, and I totally appreciate that. I love it.
I appreciate the company on this one. So,
I mean, it's a network. We all try to help promote each other and whatnot. Like I said, though, prime time when it comes, especially when it comes to launches and countdowns. Look, you can do a morning show. I ain't saying, but when it comes to the launches and the countdowns, you want to be out here when the logistics and the analytics say the most people are paying attention.
Right. Nope, it makes sense. Definitely makes sense. So, but we're gonna me and Bill are already talking about the Near X Dark Seas #2, and that's probably going to be in February, end of February timeframe.
Cool.
So we're already setting up.
Near X was great. I'm excited. I like that book.
I like it as well, which is one of the reasons why I pour a bunch of pain and suffering into it.
Did you know that Crom made an appearance in that Bill Moss art book?
Oh, did he?
Yeah. Would you like to see it?
Sure. Let's see Crom. Look at that. Oh, look at that thing.
There he is.
That's right.
There's a
And also,
reflection in the sword. Just a reflection in the sword. There he is.
there you go. It showed up in 2 different stickers as well.
Yes.
So
it was kind of cute because it was like I seen that and I was like, man, that's perfect. That's a perfect place for Crom. And he was like, you're right, Pops. I'm gonna do that. Put him in the sword. I was like, sweet, because he's done it.
Oh yeah. So,
I'm gonna let you get back to work.
yes, I got my day job, so I got to get back to it, and I get to email the team tonight and tell them that we funded and start getting going and finish up the book. The nice thing is that 2/3 of the artwork is already all done. It's just a matter of just wrapping up the last and then doing coloring on it, and then lettering the book, which lettering will take a week at most. So I should have this thing off to the printer. Well, hopefully before the end of January, which will be nice.
I'd like to do a fulfillment show with you.
What entitles that?
That means you just like come out while you're actually boxing shit up and show people that you're actually boxing shit up.
No. I can't be doing that. I'll be yelling and screaming at people. No.
What do you mean yelling and screaming at people?
I'll be screaming at everybody. No. You don't want me on that one.
That's like
saying, hey, we want to put you, in the corner and just keep on punching you. No, I'm stressed out.
You're saying that fulfillment is no good for you, Tom?
No. I'm saying that I'm insane. But again,
look, RJ does that at no cost to you. I'm just saying. RJ does fulfillment and it doesn't cost you a thing.
Yeah.
His fee comes out of the shipping. It doesn't cost you anything.
Right.
And then he handles all your fulfillment, including that getting it around to getting autographed. No, he's got that logistics thing all figured out, dude.
Nice.
So you might want to talk to RJ, bro. Then you won't be screaming at people. You'll be sitting at home going, yeah, everything's smooth. Fulfillment's beautiful.
Yeah, maybe it's time to take it off my plate. I mean, again, I'm already doing too much. That's pretty much what it boils down to. But at the same time, I've also, with my history, I've learned if I don't do it, it doesn't get done.
Listen, that's the one thing I can show. When you've seen the commercial or the ad at the beginning of the show, all the different things that he's fulfilled.
Yeah.
All the
RJ's done a lot.
Don't doubt he's got some skills that don't by any means. I'm just
the whole point is we're looking for an indie distributor, right? We're looking for what he's trying to build there is that. I mean, right now it's fulfilling for crowdfunding and stuff, but at the same time, that can just continue to snowball downhill too,
right?
And just get bigger and
bigger, catalog
bigger.
as he goes.
Yeah. So
no, it's smart.
Definitely somebody to talk to, though. If that is frustrating for you and something you want to take off your plate, I can pretty much. I don't endorse people that don't do what they say they can.
Oh no, I definitely know that. It's just
that dude is amazing, man. So check that out.
RJ's great. The only thing is when it comes to fulfillment, I like to. I mean, just as a personal thing, I like to be the person that touches it last.
I'm kind of the same way, Max. I feel you on that one.
That way, if there's a problem,
right,
it's my fault.
But at the same time, it's we also have to look at, and this is something that Jeff, who did the cover for me, Jeff Legally, he was basically saying, you have a limited amount of time, and you need to put it back to where and so that is true. Like it starts to make a lot of sense. So Max, you're out of.
If I was selling something that cost you money, that would be different. I'm
Max,
selling you something that don't cost you nothing.
Are you out of? You said you're out of Kansas City.
Kansas City, yep.
So are you going to be at Planet this year?
We put in for it, but we got waitlisted. But we know the owner, so we're gonna go in there and like hassle his ass and be like,
You're gonna
"Hey,
bug Chris?
yeah, we're gonna bug Chris."
That works. Yeah, no,
You know,
I will be
I'll
there.
like,
so-
look, I know you're giving trash people free tables here. I don't even want a free table. I just want a table.
Well, we
So-
got to get this out of the way because a
Yep.
recording of Doc's Coffee Shop is coming up right now.
There you go. All right, Doc. Thank you very much, Max. Nice to meet you. I will talk
Yep.
to you at least at Planet. See you in
Yeah.
person.
Yeah,
All
that'd
right.
be cool.
That'd be cool. You guys got to do a little spot for us.
There you go.
We'll
All
do.
right, buddy. Thank you much.
All right,
Thanks,
talk to you later.
everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for backing all that. Thanks for backing for sure.
Comic Books for Kids provides comic books to kids in hospitals and cancer centers across the U.S. It's a place where we can all work together to make sure every child has a comic book. 100% of all proceeds go towards the kids. It's about making a difference, and while they're in the hospital, allowing them to fly like a superhero, battle dragons, or rescue teddy bears. We are in every state in the country and now support over 160 hospitals. Every month, we add more.
Visit cb4k.org.